Hey, hello, I'm Tunesy. If you couldn't tell by the channel name, of course. Um, oh my gosh. Episode 11. Ah! That means 3 more days until freaking. You can't see me. Sorry. Until freaking, 7. I mean, wait. Until freaking 2 weeks. Isn't that crazy, guys? It's almost gonna be 50 days. It's gonna be 50 days in no time. Anyways, we got the state that, well, the second state, the first state that everyone forgets about is Alaska. I thought that was a Canada state when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Or Canada multi, what do they call it? Anyways, yeah. But no, Alaska is actually a state in the United States. I don't know. I don't understand I don't understand the concept of that because Alaska's all the way up there by Canada. But we got the second state that everyone forgets exists. Hawaii. Oh my goodness. Oh, and today's song of the day is Skin by XXXTentacion. The genre is cloud and emo rap. Pretty basic rap. If you got you, I'm pretty sure everyone who XXXTentacion is. RIP. Um yeah. We're talking about Hawaii today. Um yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Let's get started. Okay, today's crime scene is based in Honolulu, Hawaii. The crime is about the Xerox Murders. Brian Koji Yusugi was born in Honolulu in 1959. While attending Roosevelt High School, Yusugi was a member of the high school's Army JRTC chapter and the school's rifle team. Classmates remembered him as a quiet student who never got in trouble. According to his brother Dennis, Yusugi crashed their father's car and hit his head on the windshield shortly after graduating high school in 1977. He was never the same afterward. Yusugi has been employed by Xerox as a technician since 1984. Among his hobbies was raising and breeding goldfish and koi, which he would sell to local pet stores. He had an extensive collection of firearms. At the time of the murders, he had as many as 25 guns registered in his name, dating to 1982. Police also took 11 handguns, 5 rifles, and 2 shotguns from Yusugi's father. According to testimony from Yusugi's father, Haroyuki, Yusugi was normal until he started working for Xerox in 1984. In 1988, Brian started to complain that he had a poking sensation in his head. After being transferred to another root group, Yusugi began making accusations of harassment and product tampering against repairmen. They had a difficult time dealing with him. Former co-workers who knew him reported that the other members of his team allegedly rejected him, making him feel isolated and withdrawn. Yusugi reportedly made threats against other co-workers' lives. In 1993, he was ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation and anger management courses after he kicked in and damaged an elevator door. Yusugi was arrested for third-degree criminal property damage. Coworkers told Dr. Michael Wellner, chairman of the forensic panel and the psychiatrist who interviewed Yusugi before trial, that as early as 1995, Yusugi was openly talking of carrying out a mass shooting at the workplace where he was to be fired. He complained that his coworkers were engaged in patterns of harassment, backstabbing behavior, and the spreading of rumors. In the period leading up to the shootings, Xerox management had become increasingly committed to phasing out the type of photocopier that Yusugi serviced. He resisted learning the replacement machine, fearing that he could not keep up with its technical demands. After working around his refusal to train on the new machine, Yusugi's manager insisted on November 1st, 1999, that he would begin training the next day. In his interview with Dr. Michael Wellner, who examined Yusugi when the defendant brought an insanity defense. Yusugi said he had believed that if he refused to take the training, management would fire him. He told Dr. Wellner, "I decided to give them a reason to fire me." On November 2nd, 1999, the day of he was supposed to be trained, at 8 a.m., Yusugi opened fire inside the building with a semi-automatic pistol, killing his supervisor and 6 co-workers, and firing in the direction of another coworker who fled the building. The 8th person escaped without injury. He fired 28 shots in total, 25 of which hit a person. After the shooting, Yusugi fled in a company van, and by mid-morning, he was found sitting in the van near the Hawaii Nature Center above downtown Honolulu. He held a standoff with the police that lasted for 5 hours, during which he brandished a pistol, read magazines, and smoked cigarettes. Adding to the tension of the standoff, the Hawaii Nature Center was hosting 35 local school children who were trapped inside without food or water. Yusugi surrendered to police at approximately 3 p.m. Yusugi's month-long trial began on May 15, 2000. He was charged with 1 count of murder in first degree, 7 counts of murder in the second degree, and 1 count of attempted murder in the second degree. Before the close of the trial, counts 2-8 were merged into count 1. The prosecuting attorney of Honolulu, Peter Carlisle, and deputy prosecuting attorneys Christopher Van Marter and Kevin Takata represented the state of Hawaii. Criminal defense attorneys Gerald Fonseca and Rodney Ching of the law firm Fonseca and Ching, represented by Yusugi. Yusugi pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and claimed that he felt like an outcast at work and that he feared his colleagues were conspiring to have him fired. Dr. Park Dietz and Dr. Daryl Matthews testified for the defense that he was insane, citing the delusions about how others were tampering with his fish. Lead prosecution expert witness Dr. Harold Hall testified that the defendant fulfilled the criteria for a diagnosis of schizophrenia, but he did not meet the criteria for either insanity or extreme emotional or mental disturbance. Dr. Michael Wellner testified for the prosecution that though Yusugi was, in his opinion, legitimately suffering the effects of schizophrenia, he carried out the shooting because he was angry that he would be fired for misbehavior, and his own account of protection before the crime demonstrated that his actions were premeditated. On June 13, 2000, the jury rejected the insanity defense, finding Yusugi guilty on count 1 for 7 murders and count 9 for the attempted murder. On August 8, 2000, Judge Mary Ann Milks sentenced Yusugi to life without the possibility of parole for count 1 and life without the possibility of parole on count 9, with the sentences to run consecutively. The court also ordered Yusugi to pay $500 in restitution and $70,000 to the Crime Victim Compensation Fund. Hawaii does not have the death penalty. The parole board later ordered Yusugi to serve a minimum term of 235 years in prison, the longest ever ordered for a Hawaii inmate. Yusugi appealed his convictions. In 2002, the state of Hawaii Supreme Court upheld Yusugi's conviction. In 2004, Yusugi was considering fighting his conviction based on Rule 40, inadequate representation by his lawyers in his first trial. In 2005, Xerox and the hospital that examined Yusugi settled a civil lawsuit brought by the families of the shooting victims. They believed that both parties had failed to take preventive action based on what they said were clear signs of Yusugi's mental instability. Yusugi was incarcerated at the Sagaru Correctional Center in Eloy, Arizona. That'll be the end of today's video. This one wasn't as short as the other few ones that I've been doing, but it was still kind of short, not gonna lie. Hawaii. Aloha. Does Hawaii have its own language? Hawaiian. 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 No, they just speak American, huh? Is aloha just like American? I'm not quite sure. That's a good question. But anyways, that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys freaking enjoyed it. And yeah. Um yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. I don't think I have anything else to say. I don't have really much else to yap about for today's video. Like I always do at the end, but that's okay. Bye.